We didn't have a way to instantly send a photo. I mean, of course, you could get the print up or you could get a painting. I mean, back in the day, right? Like there's ways that this still happened, but it wasn't on the quick.
All right, we're just gonna get the big elephant in the room out on the table, and we're
diving
talking about sending nude photos. We just, you know, we just got to get it out there.
We've got to talk about it.
It's happening. It's happening, but we're not talking about it. So we know it's happening, so let's just talk about it, right?
And we know it's happening because so many of you, I mean, you share that it's happening and you feel like no one else is talking about it, but everyone's doing it. And no Christians are talking about it. So you're like, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't really, but I feel like this is a problem, but I'm not sure. And so we just want to have, this is totally unscripted. We have zero script, zero notes. We're just rolling, and we just want to share genuinely from our hearts, like our thoughts on this, and really come alongside you and just kind of open up this conversation.
Before we jump in though, I do want to share with you about our mentorship course. This is an amazing 8-week, the most personal course that we offer. And it's basically your opportunity to kind of get mentored by the two of us. We spent a ton of time pouring into creating this course so that you could learn and grow in your spiritual life, so that you could build a sisterhood, a community, and really just kind of get out of the stagnant where you're like, I want to change, I want to grow, I don't want to stay the way that I am, but it's hard. So this is something that we've created to help you in that journey.
Yeah, and I just want to show really quick, so you're like, 8-week course, what's it about? Every single week we're going to cover a different topic and dig into that topic through videos you're going to watch, through weekly discussion, through a live Zoom call. You'll have communication and chatting throughout the week through a private Facebook group, but every single week you're going to get this, well, you have this guide. So like week 1, understanding who God is and who your identity is in Him. 4 videos. And then the next week, finding freedom from sin and fighting temptation, digging into how to find freedom from sin, how to fight temptation. What does that look like? So you have your guide. Then every single week with each topic, you'll have daily lessons, like homework, to help you dig into that topic. As you're watching the videos, you'll be taking notes. You'll be doing some extra things on your own. So it's a very robust course, very in-depth, and it's a lot of fun too. And you make a lot of friends.
Registration, is that the word? Registration closes September 6th, which is coming up quick. So you want to make sure to sign up, because once registration closes, you cannot join the fall course. You have to join before then. It starts on the 7th, September 7th. So if you're thinking about it, or if you've been on the fence about it, we really encourage you to head over to girldefined.com/mentorship. Check it out. We really hope to see you there.
Okay. Let's go. You ready?
I want to take y'all back though to a conversation that I had with girls just like you. We were speaking at a conference, and I remember we were eating lunch, and so the two of us just jumped in, hanging out with the girls, and we were just chatting. And I remember a group of them were sharing with me how this was a real problem, how it was within their school, and there were a lot of guys that, not even through social media, just through texting, would ask like, hey, send me a photo. And everyone knew what that meant, and they were saying that they would do it, but they didn't like it. They didn't want to do it. They felt like it wasn't good, and they didn't like the way that their bodies were just kind of being objectified, and they felt like it was not
just consumed,
just
used.
And they didn't even really like want to be with these guys, but it was just so normal, and they felt like, I don't want to be the odd one out, and I want to be liked, and so I'm just going to do it. And they were saying, okay, so what do we do though? Is like, did you ever do this? What, how do we handle this? What do we do with this? And so from that moment until now, we have received, like you said, so many questions, so many emails saying, okay, I don't want to do this, but I don't really know how to handle this. Help.
Yes.
So let's just talk about it.
Let's just talk about it.
What do we do? How do we handle this?
I would say this is in some ways a modern problem, because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have social media. We didn't have a way to instantly send a photo. I mean, of course, you could get the print up, or you could get a painting. I mean, back in the day, right? Like there's ways that this still happened, but it wasn't on the quick. It wasn't, I know. It wasn't like boom, boom, boom in one day. I mean, it was a process if you really wanted to get a nude of yourself. So these days it is so accessible. And here's the thing, is that when something becomes so common and so popular and so normalized, it can kind of start to feel like it's the right thing. Everyone's doing it. Why do I feel weird about this? Maybe it's just me. Maybe there's no problem with this at all. But here's the truth, is that just because something's popular doesn't mean it's right. And in reality, normalizing what's wrong doesn't automatically make it right. And sharing nude photos, I mean, we could get into all sorts of like biblicals. This is going to be just more of a general conversation, but I just want you to know those feelings of like, where you feel kind of icky, you feel kind of awkward, you feel like, I don't really want to do this, but I kind of want this guy's attention, or I want to be like everyone else. I don't want to be weird. Just know that just because it's popular doesn't automatically make it right.
And I just want to be real blunt and honest that there are guys out there who are not like that, and there are guys out there who are respectful, who are honoring, who are not looking at porn, who are not asking for nude photos. There are guys like they're out there. Both of us have married those sorts of guys, and we waited and prayed because we wanted a man who would honor God and honor us, and who viewed intimacy and marriage and even nudity in a really beautiful, pure way. And so I want to encourage you to know that there are guys out there like that, and I set yourself up for success in this area. If you have guys who are asking you for nude photos, I just want to say it bluntly, block their numbers, unfollow them on social media. You do not need those sorts of relationships in your life, and you don't have to keep that around. Like, it's really disrespectful and rude of them to be asking for this. And so like, set a new trend. Say, sorry, I have more respect for myself, and I appreciate God's beautiful design in my body, and my body is to glorify Him, and I am not going to lower it down to an object that you can consume. Block. Yes. Very, very blunt, but that's what we need to be doing. Don't continue to let this happen.
Yeah, and I think a 2-letter word, no. We need to get good at saying this to, like, hey, will you still be like, no. And then block. Oh, yeah. No, and then block. No, and then block. That's okay. And you might feel like, oh, but I really want his attention. Well, think about who this guy is. Like, he is putting his character on full display, and he's saying, like, I'm a guy who just wants to use women. I just want to consume images that kind of give me some pleasure in this moment. But as soon as he's bored of you, guess what? He's moving on. So really ask yourself,
and
like,
he's probably asking a lot of other girls,
you're
too.
Probably
You're not the only one.
Right? I mean, and that's just going to be a pattern that continues on. So really ask yourself, like, dig into your own heart and say, like, okay, I'm wanting to send him this photo because I want to keep his attention, but really, how long is that going to last? Like, in the long run, is this a guy that you really want to be with? A guy who has such little respect for you, such little dignity, and, like, not honoring other women, not cherishing them, like you said, as God cherishes us. Is that really the type of guy that you want to be with, even for a little bit? Yes, he might be fun, he might be popular, he might be super hot, but in the long run, like, how long is that really going to last?
And if you are like, okay, there's a specific place where this is an issue. Is it Snapchat? Is it like TikTok? Is there somewhere where there's like these friendships are cultivated, or where they're specifically asking for these photos? I want to say something really crazy. Maybe delete the app. Maybe
take a break.
Get off of it. Is the reward of what you're getting out of that app and the good that it's bringing into your life more than the bad? Like, sometimes we just need to take a bold stand and say, okay, I don't care that everyone's on Snapchat. I am going to get off of it because it is causing me a lot of heartache and pain and insecurity. And there's a lot of people on there that are kind of asking for things and talking about things that I don't want to be a part of. Be bold. Find another girlfriend and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's be extreme. Let's go against the norm and just get rid of this. There is so much freedom waiting for you in that area. You don't have to stay in bondage to that. You can say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to delete it and get rid of it and just completely remove that temptation and that kind of like garbage out of my life. So deleting it, you know, that is a awesome thing to do.
And there's this mindset circulating that goes something like this, that to be sexually empowered is to send nude photos, is to share nude photos of yourself. But really, that's not empowering for women. That's degrading. Like, at the bottom line, it's degrading because that's not who God made us to be. Like, that's not His good plan for us. He says that in Him, in Christ, we're cherished, we're loved, we're worthy. He has given us dignity. He has created our bodies not to be used and consumed in a lust-filled way. He's created our bodies for His glory, and then for that nakedness to be enjoyed within an intimate, committed relationship within marriage. And that's what God designed our nakedness for the passion within marriage, to fuel that marriage, that commitment, that covenant. And so don't believe the lie that it's empowering. It's not. And if you really think about how you often feel after the fact, I think there's often so much I think there can even be sadness and loneliness that comes, and even regret of, like, why did I do this? Why do I keep doing this? Because it's not empowering. It's really not.
Yeah. We just want you to know that we are cheering for you and encouraging you to take those bold steps to really embrace God's design for you, that He created you intricately, wove you in the depths, and, you know, wove you. He has a perfect plan.
Psalm 139.
Yes. He loves you, and that is not His best for you. And so we just want to encourage you to take those bold steps. If you need some encouragement and help, reach out to us on Instagram, send us a DM or leave a comment. And just know you're not alone in this fight. There are other girls who want to fight this and who don't want to give in to that. So no, you're not alone in this. And we want to be there for you, to help you, to encourage you to take those steps of deleting Snapchat or blocking numbers or saying no. We want this to be a day where you say, nope, I'm drawing a line in the sand and I'm going in a new direction. direction. I'm not going to be a slave to this any longer. I'm going to be free from this. We're going to be praying for you in this area. And we just want today to be a new, fresh day where you can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm a new woman. I'm no longer in bondage to that. So we are here for you. Head on over to Instagram @GirlDefined. Let's continue the conversation. We'll see you there.